Hello, fellow video poker players. If you're like me, you enjoy the game, but you find over time you're just a loser unless you hit the royal flush, and this is not your fault. It's just in the math. Now, I'm going to show you a secret how to get your play over 100% payback percentage, which is kind of long term, but in any other casino in the world, it's impossible unless you're playing deuces wild. Now, the normal game for most casinos is 9-6, 8-5, jacks or better. Four of a kind pays 125, two pair pays 10. This game pays back 98%. And this is a very popular game. It's a variant of Double Double. It's bonus deluxe. Four of a kind pays 400, and normally two pair pays 5. I alter it to pay 10, and that's the key difference. I've simulated a million hands here, and as you can see, the return is 112%. And that's only because of two pair has been alternated. Now, what you need to do in the casino, and here's the secret. Close this. In this program, you can choose a variety of different games. As you can see, it shows the payback percentage too. You got jacks or better. Some of them are like 100% plus maybe a half a percent, but mostly not. So here's Bonus Poker Deluxe. It pays back 97% without the two pair. So here's the game, and here's the other game. And you can, in the casino, you can switch back and forth instantly and play the game. So here it goes. See, we got a flush draw, miss, pocket sevens, nothing. Overall, you go two pair every 10 hands, give or take. So you should play this 5 or 6 hands. And if you don't hit two pair, that's when you go to jacks or better, 9-6. The one that does pay 10, and then play a few hands. Hope to get a little lucky, and it really will turn the numbers into your favor. Hopefully I can show you in real time, but this is a long-term thing. Something that you probably have to pay 500 to 1,000 hands to really see. So you can see here we got jacks or better. One more hand, flush draw, nothing. So you go over to the regular game here. So you can see we're down 20. Pocket eights, two pair, plus 5. And that would be the most optimal thing that could happen right there. So then you just go back to bonus deluxe, the flip of a switch, give it a try, and you're really just trying to hit the four of a kind, which pays 400. Give a few more spins, pocket nines, nothing, nothing. You just go back. Ace, two pair. And that just really turns the numbers into your favor. And just as if you're playing the same game, because it's all based on a 52 card deck anyway. So you just go back. And it's all about pluses and minuses. You can see we got plus 5, negative 40. And this is just the math of the game. However, if you just play this game, there's a straight, you're only going to get a 97% payback percentage, and it'll just grind you down. So because of that, maybe try another spin. We got pocket tens. And say, as you can see, two pair, which doesn't pay anything. But this is also about random events that do occur. Because you just got two pair, you're less likely to get two pair. Even though it's the same, you're just less likely. You can give it a try. Pocket eights, nothing. Yeah, I'd recommend really trying to go for probability. If you're playing bonus deluxe, play 6, 7 hands, and if you don't hit two pair, then go back to jacks or better, because you could lose on both. Try it again here. Pocket tens, nothing. That's 2. Deuces. King jack, nothing. 3s. And there it is again, two pairs. So I think you get the idea. This is something where you just alternate. And you get lucky on either machine. You can hit a royal flush, you can hit a four of a kind, but ideally you want to hit the four of a kind and be down as little as possible because it pays 400, and that's where the payback percentage goes in your favor. So good luck with that, and hope it helps you out. I've decided to do a little add-on from the previous video. If you're still skeptical, I've decided to simulate 1,500 hands, which in video poker terms is very, very short term. You should still see above 100% payback percentage. In 1,500 hands, you could do that in 4 hours. That'll be your typical night of playing video poker, and using the strategy I've shown, alternating between the regular jacks or better and between the deluxe type double-double game. You should see the plus 100% payback, and depending on your denomination playing, you should get somewhat of a profit. So I'll go ahead and show you here. Computer play. 1,500 hands. This is the alternated version I've named Aces. This is where the deluxe game pays 10 for 2 pair. So we're simulating. It's done. 102.40%. That's above 100%, and you'll vary anywhere from this, maybe 99% on a bad day, to 110%, and that is unheard of. That's something you can't do just by playing one game type. And you can see here we hit the 4 of a kind twice. 2 pair appeared 207 times the cycle, 7.2 hands, and that's the idea. And this would be very similar if you just alternated and timed it correctly. Every 6 hands, go back to regular and get that plus 5 based on probability and of course a little bit of luck, but this is all you're trying to do. This is where the main payback comes from. It's 2 4 of a kinds, and you can see here also this is a unique part of the program. It shows the volatility of the game of when the 4 of a hands occurred. This is hand number 300, and you got up right here. So theoretically, if that happened during your session, you could leave and you'd have a much more than 100% payback percentage. But if you kept playing, as you can see, it goes down, and then by hand number 1,200, it goes up again. And so as you can see, there's a lot of air in between 4 of a kinds. And if you just played the regular version, you'd be way down. It would probably be a 92% payback percentage. But this is just a little add-on if you're still skeptical. As you can see, 102%, and it's consistent. So we'll simulate one more time. Another session. This will take about 4 hours of your time. 1,500 hands. It's done. Ooh, look at that, 117% payback percentage. No royals, no straight flushes, but 5 4 of a kinds. And this is all you're relying on. And this is random. It's going to fluctuate from 1 to, this would be on the high end, 5 hands. And you can kind of see the cycle of when they occur. Hand number 380, and then so on and so on. And your highest credit was 1,300. So, I mean, that would be a very much winning session. And the idea is just to be down as little as possible, waiting for the event to occur. Again, 2 pair, cycle, 7 hands. So, if you can hit 5 4 of a kinds in one session, that'd be a plus $1,300. If you're playing dollars, quarters, it'd be a lot less. But, it all depends on your bankroll and what you're willing to risk. But you can see it's consistent. We'll do it one more time just to see. This is just a crackpot theory. 1,500 hands. Ooh, look at that, 116% payback percentage. Now, these 4 of a kinds, normally, if you just had this kind of luck on a regular machine, you'd be somewhere in the range, of 105% payback percentage. I can go ahead and show you that just to show you how much the payback percentage changes when 2 pair does not pay 10. $97% payback percentage. $1,500 hands. $83% payback percentage. You hit the 4 of a kind 3 times. That 2 pair is the secret to becoming a winning player. And if you just follow this video, and if you have the bankroll and the time, you can be a profitable video poker player. I've decided to throw in a disclaimer that you could lose money using this technique, and this is a little bit of a quick tutorial of how to use the two-pair technique, and understand that you can lose money if you play the 9-6 jacks or better too much, and that two-pair has an equal probability to hit on each games. But as you can see here, I'll simulate, which would be an hour session, 400 hands, and this is the regular bonus deluxe. I just pays 5 for two pair, so that's 400 hands. Two pair happened 56 times, and it broke even. It didn't do anything. And here's 9-6 jacks or better. Same deal, 400 hands. Two pair paired 62 times. So it's pretty much an even distribution. But you got to understand that there's a cycle to it, and it's 6.5 hands. So you pretty much need to get a little bit lucky, but if you understand the technique and just keep a count, it will work in your favor. Now the key here is to always start out on bonus deluxe, because you never know, you might just hit a 4 of a kind and be done from hand number 1. But we'll go ahead and play it here, and there's pair jacks. And you're really trying to concentrate on your bankroll, not trying to get down too much. This is hand number 3, hand number 4. So there has not been a two pair, and this is theoretically hand number 5 over here. Even though it's an independent event, it still hasn't occurred, and this is where the theory really does come into play. So Queen Jack, nothing. 3 of a kind. So that's lucky as it is right there. So you can get lucky, and you're not strictly relying on two pair, but see if I can quad it up. So as you can see, we got +5, -10, and then you simply go back. You don't want to stick to this game too much. It just doesn't pay enough for 4 of a kind. So that's a good pocket pair. See, unfortunately, you hit two pair. And I'd recommend at least playing 3 more hands on this version, this type, and you could get lucky like this. So now we're back to even. Go over to this game. It's an independent event, but it's been 2 hands, so you never know, and hopefully get that 2 pair. You don't want to play too deep. Maybe get down 15. There's a 3 of a kind. And of course, 3 of a kind pays the same over here, but that's really not the point. So anytime you're plus, you want to take that, and then you simply go back over here. And then go back over here. This will be hand number 3. Whoa, royal flush draw. Look at this. Oh, I missed. Don't want to get down too much. Jacks are better. Pocket 9s. So again, this is a long-term thing. And so you just don't want to play this too much. It's just a disclaimer. Otherwise, if you don't use proper strategy, you will lose. So ideally, you're trying to get free spins on the right, and by utilizing the payoff table on the left. So I mean, there's a little bit of luck involved, as I said. So there it is, 2 pair. You just take that. You didn't fill up, but that's a +5. And if you'd hit 2 pair over here and just keep playing this game, it'll just grind you down. And so ideally, that's what you want to do. Just take 1 spin and then go back over here. Jacks are better. And again, this is just a disclaimer. This isn't a foolproof system, but if you utilize 9-6 jacks or better, or any jacks or better game at your local casino that pays 10 for 2 pair, you can really give yourself an advantage. The only problem is this machine will hit 2 pair in equal distribution as this machine, so you got to be aware of that, and you understand that there's an element of risk involved each time you take each bet you take. Go ahead and try to show you this in real time, how the system works, because you can make a lot of money doing this. 3 of a kind. Three of a kind. Now, if you think about it, the odds of getting 3 of a kind twice in a row is pretty. It doesn't happen very often, but you have a whole new algorithm, a whole new machine, and the probabilities and the odds just change dramatically. I mean, the experts will tell you that you have the same odds every spin, but I found this system to work, and especially when you're utilizing this payoff table here. So again, don't get too deep into the jacks or better. No more than 1 to 3 spins, and you're trying to hit pairs. And if you do, you just hope to get the 2 pair. And number 2 pair, maybe 3, and there's your 2 pair. So we got -15, -15. We'd be down about the same on this machine. However, over time, you'll notice that this will be in the plus category. This will be like +10. Maybe this will be like -15, and until you hit this 4 of a kind. So the simulations hold true, but it takes a little patience, and if you don't play proper strategy, it'll just go out the window and you'll lose. Going for the 2 pair here. There's your 2 pair. And it's still even. You'll notice an even distribution for a long time, but eventually, with a little bit of luck and good timing, this side will start to go on the plus side based on this 10. There's 1. 3. 4. There's your straight. And number 5. Now you've played 5 hands in a 52 card deck, and you have not seen the 2 pair occur. So we know it's 7. So we know this, so we can estimate that we have a pretty good chance to hit it right here. And we get a flush. As you can see, boom, that's luck, but we should still have the 2 pair probability in our favor. Two pair. We're kind of right back to where we were, but it did occur, and this is something that you want to, when you're playing video poker, you want to look at what has occurred. These are all what I call events, regardless if they're the same every time the event has occurred. Just like if you're playing a slot machine, it's very unlikely you're going to hit 2 jackpots in a row. It can happen, but it's just unlikely. If you play for 10,000 spins, you're probably going to get 1. And number 3. I'm going to give it a couple shots. Go back over here. The idea is just to stay in range for high profit for the 4 of a kind. You really want to keep track of how many hands you play too. We've reviewed this session here. We played 37 hands. We know the 4 of a kind occurs. The cycle is every 400. So it's a process, and you just have to be patient. Unfortunately, 2 pair. That doesn't mean you can't hit it over here, so sometimes it's worth a shot. Maybe you'll get a flush or something. There's 2 pair. That's more of a break even, but it's worth a shot. And this is the flaw in this theory is unfortunately you're going to hit a lot of 2 pairs on this side. So you really have to understand the math, stick with it, and eventually good things will happen. I'll go ahead and cycle through this a little bit so you can see this in real time. Now here, we got the 3 of a kind. We're in an optimal position to have a high profit right now. Fortunately, we didn't hit, but any hit's a good hit. +5. So you can see it's in the plus, minuses. We're technically only down 5. If we just played this game, we'd be down 20. Sometimes you get those full houses too, and that helps a lot. As you can see, oh look at that filled up, but you're going to get an even distribution of these 2 pairs, and that's something you have to be aware of. I mean, you're going to get 2 pair here if you went right back over to this machine. It's very unlikely you're going to get another 2 pair. You'll be wasting your money if you play 9 or 10 spins. So you just got to stick with the deluxe because that's your bread and butter. Also on deluxe, it's always best to dump these full houses and go for the 4 of a kind, especially when you're already making a profit. Okay, now we'll go over here, go for the 2 pair, 2 spins. Oh, you hit 3 of a kind. You pretty much want to take that. Bear with me here. This is kind of a tutorial actually how to play video poker as well. It's pretty exciting. You should download this program because you can practice your game and then go try it in real time at the casino. One more shot. Look at that. Pluses and minuses, that's what you have to be aware of with the system. Even, Steven, almost. Two pair. That's a plus. Bonus Poker Deluxe on its own is a very low hit frequency game based on this pays nothing, and you're just relying on this big hit. But it pays a lot. There it is.
That's what you're hoping for. Sometimes you get lucky there. As you can see, I just hit quads. 125 plus. And in certain situations where you go ahead and take that. 125 gets you to plus 150, minus the 155, a $95 day. You can go ahead and take that, but ideally in the system it's not what you're looking for, but that's okay. I hit the quads. That's what I was hoping for. Hope you understand the system and how it works, how the element of luck is involved, and that there's an equal distribution of quads. I'll go ahead and show you one more time just to reiterate what I'm talking about. Go to the computer play. There's 5,000 hands, just so you can really understand what's going on with the math. Bonus Poker Deluxe, 5,000 hands, and as you can see, it's going to happen a lot. You hit 16 four-of-a-kinds, cycle, 312.5. It's going to vary from 300 to 400. There's the volatility. You hit a 500, and then sometimes you just get lucky. This is a very lucky session. Two pair again. I occurred 661 times. Now, if I'd have paid 10, you would have made $1,200 total, or $600 extra on top of this. That'd be a $900 win. So it occurred 661 times. Let's go over here. 5,000 hands. This is 9-6, jacks are better. 645 times, pretty much an even distribution. Cycle, 7.8. That means it occurs every 7.8 hands. And over a 5,000 time and sample size, you really understand that there is kind of a nature to the game. And oh, look at that, you hit a royal flush. That's going to happen sometimes as well. We'll go ahead and try this one more time, quick like. So you can understand what I'm talking about here. So it's not a fluke, and you can understand. Here's hand number 1, 2. It happened. So hand number 1 happened again. So you should pretty much keep your count. It's kind of like blackjack. So this is hand number 1. Okay, we'll take that. So this is hand number 5 right here. You got about a 70% chance of hitting a 2 pair, which would be a plus. And over time, this is big, as I've said before here. So aces, hand number 6, 7, run off and occurs, 8. There it is. The event occurred. You also got a good chance to fill up, which really helps your session, but you hit this, and that's going to be a plus. And that's it. That's how the system works. You're going to go through some downswings. You just have to be patient with it and understand that you got an equal chance. But it is a 52 card deck, so if you hadn't seen it happen yet, you should switch over. Try to get that +5. Sometimes it happens on this machine as well, and when you try to hit on this machine. So it's a long system, it's trial and error, but you really have to keep the count, and you have to be diligent with the downswings, and sometimes you get a little unlucky, and sometimes you get really lucky. Sometimes you're only down $20 and you hit the 4 of a kind. It's that's like a week's worth of pay in an hour. So stick with the system. Good things will happen. Well, good luck in your future gambling. I hope the system really helps you with your bankroll, and if you follow it correctly, it may work for you.